Hey y'all, this is Chanel. Welcome to Rep Your Grind. We are trying to get this thing situated right here. So, yeah, we're in the building, we up and running. Hey y'all, this is Vanetta. Rep Your Grind is a platform where we highlight entrepreneurs and business professionals who love what they do. And tonight we have the man behind the music, the producer, the father, the entrepreneur, the businessman right here with me tonight talking about Donnie Darrango, straight out of Be More. Look, this is where Rep Your Grind started at, okay? We started in Baltimore, Maryland, by way now of Mississippi. So I'm telling you right now, I would like for y'all to tag and share. This is some interesting stuff we're going to be talking about tonight. And then when you want to be part of the conversation, you may want to tune in now so you know how we do things around here, right? How we going to have your interview. But tonight is all about Donnie Durango. And look, he's a powerhouse in the music game joining us. And like I said, he's a father, a music producer, entrepreneur. He's a husband. He's the owner of Wheeler Music LLC. And listen, he has crafted this for over 30 years, bringing old school hip hop with neo soul vibe, making his own genre of neo soul hip hop. And I'm telling you, I listened to one of his songs, okay? And I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. It's called Caribbean. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it later. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, if y'all don't get it, I'm going to. Because when I turned it off, it was still playing in my head. So I really, 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 really enjoyed it. Okay. So I welcome you here once again to Rep Your Grind. I am Vanetta, where we just don't do it great. We represent. We highlight entrepreneurs and business professionals who love what they do and represent that love to the fullest to help our future generation achieve their dreams. Because so many times I am a professional barber. So when I talk to young men, ask them, what would you like to do when you grow up? They don't even know. They don't know. So that's why I invite entrepreneurs here and business professionals to enlighten something in the young women and men's mind that's growing up right now. They're thinking that they really don't have a passion for anything. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome here tonight Donnie Durango, the man behind the music. Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
good, good. So how are you feeling tonight?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Whoa, that's good. So look, so before we get started, I told them a little bit about you. You're a father, you're an entrepreneur, you're a husband. So is there anything that I missed beside the music?
um, uh, man, no, not really. I mean, music is my life. I mean, that's what I'm about.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just I believe that whatever it is that you love in life, you should pursue, and that's what I've been doing since I was 13 years old.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That's good. So y'all, please like, comment, and share. This is some good information we're gonna share tonight. And we're not gonna keep you for a time, right? But we want to keep you here long enough to give you the information you need. I'm making sure that I share to all of my platforms that I have. So I thank you once again for coming. I thank you, Donnie Durango. And before we even get into the questions, I'm gonna play this song. Look, I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait. Now you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna play one now, then go and I'm gonna play another treasure, and then I'm gonna go because I really want to ask you about the untitled one and why so. But we're
Oh,
gonna get into that
okay.
later. Oh yeah. So look, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Look, so this is the song "Caribbean" by Donnie Durango. it made me feel like I should be sipping coffee in a bookstore, relaxing with my friend girls over there in Baja or Bali. You know what I mean?
That's the mode that I was in. I was, whatever I feel, that's what comes out. So yeah. Yep.
It's like it will make you want to do poetry in it, like sitting over in the corner, running around.
Yeah.
Don't make me do it now. Don't make me. Okay, that's enough. I ain't gonna give y'all too much because y'all might be trying to get something from me. So tell me about Caribbean. What you said it was the
It was
mood you
Caribbean
was in.
Sunrise actually, but
Okay. Oh
yeah,
yes, it is Caribbean Sunrise. Hmm.
yeah, and basically when I came up with that, I had, I don't know what it was. I was dreaming one night,
Hmm.
and it was like me and my wife, because I wanted to, take my wife to the Caribbean. That was a conversation that we had a while back, and for some odd reason, this dream, that I was in the Caribbean sitting on the beach, and I went through one of my like a sample pack that I had, and I was like, hold on a second. I heard certain sounds in it, and I was like, oh man, let
Hmm.
me play to this. So I just thought, I play by ear. So I don't read
Hmm.
music, I play by ear. So I just started playing, and I just got this vibe, and I figured out what notes I should be hitting, and I just went for it, and it just came out, and yeah, it was just the mode that I was in at that time. So yeah, that's what it was.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm telling you, I was gonna wait, y'all, but I just went on and play. I just went on right now. So before we get into the business side of everything, uh take us back to when did the music first become a passion for you? And what was the moment you knew you had to turn it into a career?
Okay, well, the first time that I knew it was a passion for me was, like I said, I was 13 years old, and I was at my grandmother's house. She's raised me since I was 5, and I had no idea, it would hit me like that. It was just, I was listening to 88.9. It was strictly hip hop, and this is in the 80s, of course. And I'm sitting there, I'm listening, and I was like, you know what? I would like to do that, because I was listening to a mix, and they were cutting in everything like this, and I was like, oh man, I know I could do that. So my grandmother had given me this component set. If we, you look, y'all young people might not know about the component set, but us
Right.
older generation, we know. You feel me? A component set is basically a small little record player, tape
Mm-hmm.
player, and radio in one. Okay. And it had a record player on top, and
Mm-hmm.
it had buttons on the front. So what I was able to do is I was able to switch the buttons between the radio and the record player. And I was able to take my grandmother's old records, and she had records. She had old Richard Pryor records. She had Earth, Wind and Fire. She had all the old groups, and I would mix the records. I would take the platter, or the plate, the record platter,
Mm-hmm.
off, and adjust the tempo, or the speed of the disc when it was spinning. I was able to adjust it to the right, pitch, and I would set it, and that's how I started mixing, and I
Mm-hmm.
taught myself that way. And then when I was 16, I moved out of my grandmother's, and I was getting Social Security from my dad, who passed away when I was 5 years old. And I took my last Social Security check, and
Mm-hmm.
I went up to Pennsylvania Avenue, and I went to Northwest Pawn, and
Mm-hmm.
I bought a whole DJ setup, and 2 turntables, mixer, speakers, and a whole bunch of records. I think it was like 50 records, and I bought a crate and, brought it all home and started actually training myself and teaching myself how to mix with 2 turntables. And that's how I started. And when I realized that it was a passion, I mean, that this is what I really, really wanted to do, it just elevated, was I had heard that my dad used to play percussion for the Persuaders back in the 60s and the 70s. And he used to travel around with him. He was a session player and he played with them. So, when I heard that, I was up in Pennsylvania and I had already been into music. I had already started, learning and everything like this. And I was out with an ex-girlfriend of mine who was in Pennsylvania. So I was there and I took her out for Valentine's Day. And we were at a place called the Ritz in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And the Persuaders were performing. I didn't know who they were or anything. I just knew it was a show going on. And me and her got front row seats and everything. And it was like a supper club. And they surprisingly pointed me out of the crowd after this set. And I just went up to get an autograph for my girlfriend. And they said, "Do I know you?" And I was like, "No." So they were like, this was in 99. And they said, "I know you from somewhere." I was like, "I don't know you." And they were like, "What's your dad's name?" And I looked at him and I said, "Hold on a second. If you know me, you know my father's name. Think about it like that." So they said, "You look like this dude that played with us." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know." So he said, "Is your dad named Peanut?" And I was like, "Yeah." And that right there, they was like, "Man, come on back here." So me and my girlfriend, we went backstage with him. And I learned about my dad. Now, my uncles used to tell me when I was little that he used to play bongos. But I never knew the depth of, his experience and things like that until that day. So excuse me, please. I'm in my interview. What's up? Okay, after my interview, I got you. Okay, I got you. All right, just get. All right, love you. Sorry.
That's all a part of being a father. No, yeah. That's cool.
Yes.
This real, this live.
This is real live right here, But yeah, so that's how that's where the passion just, I mean, it just elevated my passion level, and that's when I really, really started grinding, on it because I wanted to finish what my dad started.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Because my dad also was a percussionist. He played drums.
Okay.
And now my brother, my grandbaby, well, both my brothers play.
Okay.
My grandson, and then end up my daughter married a drummer. It's just so music is in there. My mama sings, so I know with both of my parents being gone now, that just keeping that part of your life and God allowing you to come full circle.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yes, it is. I thank him every day.
Because it's like when you said you didn't know, it's like, okay, this is your moment right here. Like everybody has a make or break moment. Like this is your crossroads.
Moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you gonna do with it? I'm putting you right here so you can know more about your father that you always, I know you wanted to know the depths of everything about him.
Right.
By you being so young, and for that to come flourish out like that, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You tearing up your grandmama's stuff,
She didn't care. She knew. She was one. She always, let me do my thing. As a kid, 10 years old, I was always a smart kid. So, by 10 years old, I had just about read everything that Shakespeare ever wrote. By 10 years old, and I was reading through the encyclopedia. Y'all young people won't know the Encyclopedia Britannica. They used to have these guys that came out and selling them, encyclopedias. They come to your door and selling encyclopedias. and my
Right.
grandmother knowing how, I mean, I had, by the time I was at that age 10, I was almost at a high school reading proficiency level at 10 years old. So
Wow,
reading
that's
was
awesome.
always a thing with me. I love to read. Love to read.
Right. Like speaking of the botanical, I think my mom at her house, she still got the blue set with the gold trim
I
and
had
the
the
burgundy set.
I had the
I'm gonna
red
check that.
with the black
Yeah,
trim with the
right.
gold.
Let me tell you, I love that. That's like, look, if y'all don't know, go ask y'all grandparents about those
Or
encyclopedias.
your parents.
They was, yeah, well, they probably didn't like it. Go,
Well, yeah.
don't, yeah, because you know that's the first thing. Go looking at it, you have to turn.
The 40 and over
Now
crew
they can
gonna
tell,
know. 40 and over crew gonna
yeah,
know about that.
so, right. So you're not just making music. I mean, you live in a livelihood that's really bred within you. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
You know how they said it's in the blood. It's
yeah.
really just in the blood because you play
Yes.
by ear. Did you ever go to learn music to
Well,
try or
I come out of a high school in Baltimore, Frederick Douglass High School. Shout out to Douglas Ducks.
okay,
And I was in the music careers program for
okay.
gifted. We everybody that was in the music careers program was, we were gifted. You know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
we we had talent. And then in that program I met who would be my core for the rest of my life, my family
Hmm.
core for the rest of my life. Shout out E Digger, my brother.
Hmm.
He got me into music careers. He was the one that pushed me into it. And we used to rap. He used to rap. I was DJing, and yeah, yeah. And I used to dance as well. I had my own dance crew. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We did shows at Douglas, and we won every talent show we ever did.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and we were our sister school, which was Morgan Bears, Morgan State College, Dr. Lane. They had a real big influence on us. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
he would come in and he would help teach choir. We sang on the choir. So it was a lot of nurturing, where when I began. And as far as school, that was like my base. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's what's up. I can see y'all out there on that corner. You remember, you know, yeah. I'm telling you, I was pretty good at breakdance.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
now, now I just be broke. Okay. So listen, tell us about the brand that you are building with Four Wheeler Music. Tell us about the vision behind your company and what makes it stand out in the industry.
Okay. Well, Four Wheeler Music, I started in 1997. Um, and I've always believed in generational wealth. And the thing is, because I came from nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I didn't, my grandparents and parents didn't have nothing to leave me, except for my dad. He left me the talent that I have, which is way more, worth way more than money. So when I had my daughter, I had already, been under the tutelage of my mentor, who was AJ Sterling, out of Baltimore. And at that time, I was DJing at a place called Shake and Bake, and on Pennsylvania Avenue. I was DJing with DJ Cornbread, DJ Tons, shoot, man, a whole bunch of DJs used to come through there, and I would sit in for them when they would take their breaks. So this guy, he came through skating, and I was a skate guard as well. So he came through skating, and he had this crazy style of skating. And I'm looking, I'm
Hmm.
like, "What in the world?" So I met up with him, and we talked, and he asked me, he was like, "So what you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to actually make the music that I DJ." So he took me under his wing. He started teaching me and things like that, and we started a company, called Rough Time Music. And out of that, I went on. He encouraged me to go ahead and start my own label, and I started my label on May 27th, 1997, which is my birthday and the birthday of my oldest daughter.
Okay.
So I did it so that I could leave her something, so she could carry on the tradition, of music, and she sings. So
Oh, that's awesome.
that was my main focus and the reason I did it. So it's a family company. All of my children are co-owners in my company. So
Okay.
yeah, I have four biological children. They are all co-owners in my company, and my focus is to keep hip hop alive, the original hip hop. Not. I don't have any problem with current hip hop. I have no problem with it. It's great.
Hmm.
It's great. But me, I'm older than a lot of the generation that's coming up putting out music now. You know what I'm saying? I'm back from Wu Tang. I'm back from Cold Crush
Right.
Brothers in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Hmm.
the origins of hip hop. That's where I'm from, and I'm trying to keep it pure. You know what I'm saying? So that is my focus as far as my company is concerned. Of course, I do different genres under hip hop as far as trap. I
Hmm.
do that and things like that. But my mainstay will always be hip hop, boom bap hip hop. So yeah, yeah.
Okay. So do you think the old school hip hop coming back to the forefront? Because I see it's transitioning back. Like a lot of the lyrics now are going back to the full lyrics and not just hitting a word 15 million times.
Well, I think that, and I'm proud to say that, I'm from that era. I love the way that the not the originators, because they are not the originators, but the
Right.
pioneers,
Hmm.
that started the newer generation from like the 90s. You know what I'm saying? From the
Right.
80s, and they started the 90s, Wu Tang, and Tribe Called Quest, and guys like that. A lot of those guys are coming back out with new albums. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
Busta Rhymes and guys like that. They're coming back out. And I think that you know that part would never leave. If it wasn't for them, there would be no track. There would be anybody to continue hip hop. There would be no subgenres of hip hop if it wasn't
Right.
for those guys. You know what I'm saying? So I commend them, and like happy birthday. Yesterday was the Queen's birthday. I gotta give a shout out to Queen
Yeah.
Latifah. Her birthday was yesterday. So yeah, yeah, yeah,
Tell you, so your mannerism remind me of back in the 70s because I'm a 70s kid too. And
yeah.
I'm saying, back then, like we knew like what's up? Like it's going down. We hear one, yeah.
Yeah,
Every time we talk, we gotta do a handshake or a high five.
yeah,
And it's
exactly.
cool. Yeah, it's cool.
You're
And yeah, right. So right here, we're gonna pause from the questions. I'm gonna give you My Treasure from
okay.
Donnie Darrango. The bass doing it.
You like the bass? I did this song actually with my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to White.
What's this?
Donnie Darrango exclusive.
y'all leave a comment about the music. This is my treasure, and I'm loving it. So tell us about my treasure.
Oh man.
You-
um, my
I
treasure.
know. Is
I
it a
did.
rated R X? No.
No. I've done a few songs for my wife, in tribute to her,
Hmm.
because she is one of my biggest supporters, and we're working on 2 years. Our anniversary is August the 6th, so it'll be 2 years,
Okay.
August the 6th, and my wife is a big inspiration to me,
Hmm.
because she was there with me, when she was 16. She was in AJ's studio, the guy who mentored me. I met
Hmm.
her through E Digger and AJ. So yeah, when she was 16, and it was just I was just going through some keys one day. I was just playing some keys, just seeing what felt good and everything, and I do a lot of sample based music. But what I do
Hmm.
is, all of the samples that I use, I never use any samples that are not royalty free. That's first and
Okay.
foremost. For all of the producers out there that use samples, make sure that your samples are royalty free. That way, you don't have to worry about any copyright notices or anything. You can copyright those pieces of work. Okay, as long as you're either replaying them or you only use a certain amount of it. Okay,
Hmm.
so yeah, but yeah, so that was the thing. It came as a sample, and I played over it. I played the bass and everything like that on my own. It was just the uh the the trumpet and
Hmm.
the electric piano. That was it.
Okay.
So I came up with everything else, and
Yeah, I like the sweep
yeah,
in there.
yeah, yeah,
In the break when it broke, and then the horns like muffled with the keys,
yeah,
and then it come back. Oh yeah, yeah, that was tight. I like
yeah.
it. I like
So
it.
it was a tribute song. It put me in a loving mood. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and work with this. So yeah, that's why I call it my treasure, because she is my treasure. So yeah.
So let me ask you this. This I know this wasn't one of the questions, but have you ever thought about just making a straight uh, instrumental track, like CD, like straight
All of
download digital?
everything that I do is instrumental.
Mhm.
I'm all over. I'm on every streaming platform. So
Okay.
Spotify, you can go look me up, Donnie Darrango, and you can find me everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, everywhere you can listen to music, I'm there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, because
Hmm.
I see that, somebody plugging their phone in there and it's just running,
Oh
just
yeah.
like back to back to back.
Oh yeah.
I love that. I love that. So let's talk about entrepreneurship in the music game isn't easy, right?
Nope.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you'll face, and how did you push through those challenges? I mean, starting back when you was young, you've been through a couple of decades to where you see the transition. So
Hmm.
how did you handle those transitions and the challenges?
Well, everything. First of all, I always say this, and I tell everybody that means anything to me, when they
Hmm.
go through anything in life, and you aspire for anything, it never happens in your time. It's always in God's time. That's first and
Hmm.
foremost. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, um, when I really throughout, I'd say about 25 years was learning the business, learning my
Hmm.
craft. I took that time to do that. I didn't take in on any clients. I had no clients my first 25 years. I didn't. The only thing that I was doing was learning under people. going to different studios. I even, when I was out in Pennsylvania, I was learning from a guy named Marshall Deasy, who took me in.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you some stories, boy. I'm trying to tell you, I went from being okay to being homeless. I went through,
Mm-hmm.
God, I went through so much in my journey in music and I've had people who were there to lift me up, and push me, and inspirational people. So I just once I got to the point to where as though I'm like, you know what, I'm ready. God, is this is what you want from me? Let me build my own studio. This is my sixth studio that I've built.
Mm-hmm.
And every time it's a different experience. I'm going through a different time in my life. I've lost studios and gained equipment, so now I'm in a period where I can sit back and I can just basically do music because I love it. And my biggest obstacle now would be finding clients, because there's so many different studios in Baltimore, and I know most of the producers in Baltimore, and they have clients, and everything like this. But my biggest, I'd say, obstacle is getting people in the door. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And but it's, I don't do it for the money. I would do this, like I said, I mean, I've been learning for 30 years and I'm continuing to learn, about the industry because it changes so often, and yeah, that what I would say would be my biggest challenge, was being able to make a living at this. When you're on the
Okay.
grind, it's what are you grinding for? Are you grinding
Right.
because you love it, or are you grinding just to make money at it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, and I grind because I love it. If I never got a client today or tomorrow, I would still do it. Yeah.
So have you okay, so when you speak of clients, right? So
Hmm.
I told you like when we was backstage before we came on that I just purchase music. Like if I love something, sometimes I just purchase it.
Hmm.
But when I remember when I did do a few gospel albums or something like that, I the producer that I worked with just had his own music and put his own, got his own people on there and put those tracks out. And
Hmm.
those tracks draw people because it's like, okay, so you know how DJ Khaled and all
Yeah.
of them, most of the time they're putting their own things out, just having someone on the track. Have you ever done that, or do you think you would do that?
Well, I have people I've worked with.
Mm-hmm.
I currently have an artist named Debo who I work with. He's in the Washington D.C. area. And we have a couple of tracks that we've worked on in the past. I've been working with him for about 4 years now, about 3 or 4 years now. And he's a phenomenal talent. He really is. But the thing is, one thing that I've found, and this is universal. This is not just him. This is
Mm-hmm.
universal. When you're a producer, me as a professional producer, um, looking for talent to believe in,
Mm-hmm.
when you need people who are professional. You need professional people to work with, or else you'll go through, because I do have a team. I have a team of producers that I know and I'm very, very close with. And they go through these trials and tribulations of dealing with artists and things like this, where they don't want to pay them and stuff like this. And it's like, I don't deal with that, because I'm very selective on who I work with. I won't just work with anybody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, as far as working with people, if you believe in what I'm doing, then you'll come. If not, then okay, it is what it is. I'm going to get paid whether or not, because I release my own. I am an artist. I release my
Right.
own music. You know what I'm saying? I make my money off of what I do, you know. So when I release music and everything like this, my streams and stuff like this, I have over 1 billion streams. So
That's,
I'm good. I'm gonna be okay, you know. But
mm,
you know, I just don't deal with anybody. You know, I'm very, very selective, and you have to have a budget to deal with me. You know, if you don't have a budget, I don't want to deal with you. You know, you're not paying my gas and electric if you don't have a budget. You know, it costs
right.
money to run this thing. You know, I'm paying that out of my pocket. So anybody that comes in here, they gotta pay.
But that's it's anywhere. Like being a professional barber, I was like, okay, so if you wanted kitchen tension, you would catch somebody on the porch. But I got years in this game. But that's reputable because that also speak about your professionalism.
Right, right,
People that understand professional time is money.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
You
I
know,
have the resume and I have, you know, everything to I actually should be charging more than what I charge. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
But I know where I am.
right,
I know where I am. And I know people ain't got money like that. You know what I'm saying? So I work with people, you know what I'm saying? But when I set a rate, it's set and it's set to be able to, you know, say, all right, if you don't have if you don't have a whole lot of money, okay, no problem. You can come in $75 an hour. You know what I'm saying? I don't do any less than
right,
2 hours, you know? So yeah, if you can't get up $150 in order to do what you love to do, and if you want to make a career at it, you have to invest in yourself. I've invested in
right,
myself. I mean, look at my studio. I built this by hand, you know, so I've invested in myself. If I can invest
right.
thousands and thousands of dollars in myself, you can't put up a couple hundred.
Right. That's a good and that's a good question because that's what a lot of people don't understand. You get someone something for free. You're not investing. You can't even do that buying a house. They want you to put something up. They want you to see that you are really honestly loving what you do and go finish what you started. So you gave a lot of advice right there, and that was my next question.
Okay.
What advice would you give someone that's trying to tap into the music game that had turned their passion into profit or music full time? Like, what would you tell them? Because even like when people come into the barbershop, right? And the
Hmm.
young men be like, "Oh, I like what you doing. I like this, da da da." I said,
Hmm.
"Yeah, but do you understand what goes on in here? It's not just cutting hair. You got to know how to budget,
Right.
for the down times, down season, because it's the same." So, what would you tell young men and women that has a passion for music that want to do it maybe full time?
Well, if you're not doing it full time, you want to do it full time, I
Mm-hmm.
would let you know, this is not easy. It's not easy. Now, it depends on if you're an artist or if you're a producer. I mean, I work with both and I am both, and the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, um, there will be some hard times in what you do. Just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? If this is what you love, and you'll make it. If you put the grind in and you dedicate you dedicate. That's just like some people, they love dogs. It's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people in Baltimore love dogs. You know what I'm saying? They like their pets and blah blah blah. You get that dog some food. You cherish that dog. You raise that dog and everything. You mate that dog. So next thing you know, you're coming up with a litter, and then you selling the litter and things like that. That's hard work and dedication. You have to have that. If you do not have that, you will fall by the wayside. You'll never get where you need to go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be in the right place at the right time. Don't just sit where you are and think that you're going to make it. You have to get out there. You have to get where the business is. You know what I'm saying? If there's shows going on and things like that. Matter of fact, go support your local artists. Go support
Mm-hmm.
your local producer, and things like that. That way, it's your network. Your network is your net worth. That's what I always say. If you're
Mm-hmm.
allied with the right people, it's not always what you know, it's who you know. That's the best advice I could give anybody to break into this music industry. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and your network is your net worth. That's it. And get out
That's
of Baltimore. Get out of Baltimore. Don't stay in Baltimore. Get out. Go meet some people in other states.
right, right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So next we better hit this song Untitled. And you're gonna have to, when we get done, I
Ah,
want to know why this doesn't have a name.
okay. That I played everything. No samples, no nothing. That's all.
Okay. It sound got a little Asian flair to it. Andre, I don't know why my comments aren't pending,
Yeah,
but
I'm
he's
seeing
saying
it
that
on mine.
always. It's coming on yours?
Yeah, it's coming on my phone.
Okay, good, good, good.
Now I have an artist that I want on this.
Hmm.
I have an artist that would be like right now because she is she is a phenomenal artist, man. And I actually produced her demo when she first started. Um, and she is her name is LA Love the Boss.
Hmm.
If anybody wants to find something fresh and new, this girl, and this is, this is I'm just giving props because I know this young lady. You know what I'm saying? I know
Hmm.
what she's about. I know her mother, who was her manager, Elise Garrett. Um, this young lady, I want her on this beat. So if you're watching this, LA, I'm gonna
Hmm.
shoot this out to you. I'm gonna share this with you, and if you hear it, then yeah, I would love to have you on this track right here.
So where is she from?
She's from Baltimore. She's from Baltimore.
Okay,
Yeah, she's from Baltimore. But she's home now, but she travels between Baltimore, Atlanta, and California.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you waiting on her to put the sauce on her before you put a name on
Yeah. Yeah. I leave it untitled, you know what I'm saying? Because you can get any vibe out of this. You know what I'm saying? You
it?
can,
Yeah.
this is a sultry vibe, it's a sexy vibe,
Hmm.
and whoever gets on it, they can name it what they want. It's the
Hmm.
open track.
Because it is nice in the song. So just in case y'all late coming through, Caribbean Sunrise.
Some Mhm. If you notice, I love intros.
Hmm.
I love intros.
The Michael Jackson of intros.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Donnie Darrango exclusive.
And this is my treasure.
Yeah.
What's this?
A Donnie Darrango exclusive.
I like that. That's sweet. And this is the untitled looking for LA Love the Boss to come and shed some vocals. So anybody know she out there tagging? So that I love all of those.
Thank you.
They are really, 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 really hitting. So what's next for you? What any big projects, collabs, moves we should be looking out for?
All right. Well, right now, I'm about to embark on a journey with my brother, who is E Digger. You guys know him,
Okay.
the man you all know and love, E Digger. Um, so we are doing a version of Rhythm Roulette. So
Okay.
if you don't know, Rhythm Roulette is a YouTube series where major producers go to record stores and
Hmm.
they blindfold themselves and they pick through records and find three records, take it back to the studio, and they make beats out of them. So and sometimes they'll have an artist in the studio and the artist will rap over that. So
Mm.
I'm getting ready to do my own rhythm roulette and do that, and just basically just making more instrumentals, man. I may be coming out with another. I usually release about 2 albums a year, so it's around that time that I need to release. I probably will release something around my birthday. I'm sitting on so much music. It's like I just need to go ahead and release,
Right.
album. So I'll probably be doing that around my birthday time, May 27th, or Memorial Day. So yeah, that's what's going up next for me. And if anybody sees anything, and comes up with, if you want to collab or whatever, holla at me. I'm here. It's okay. I'm good. Yeah.
That's what's up. So give us all your social media handles before we leave tonight and where they can contact you.
Okay. My IG is Donnie.Darrango, spelled exactly how you see right here. Right here. Okay. There's a dot in between. That's my IG. Of course, my Facebook is Donnie Darrango, just what you see. And those are my two main medias, and I also have Wheeler Music, which is right here, as you can see, right there. That is on my another IG page that I have. And for if you want to listen to my music, I'm everywhere. Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to music, just search me out at Donnie Darrango, look for me, and you'll find my music. Help me get those
Yeah.
streams up, y'all. Help me get those streams up.
That's right, y'all. Let me tell you, he has some awesome music. And this was my first time. And when I listened to one, if you go back and you catch the replay, that Caribbean Sunrise, when I turned it off, I still heard it. It was like an earbud. Is that what they call it? earworm,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Am
yeah,
I
yeah.
saying it
It's
right?
still there. It's
Since
still
you
there.
know how the iPhone go off alarm, and then I was like, I just turned that music off, and I was like, so listen. It's not by accident that you stopped by here tonight. Rep Your Grind is back, highlighting entrepreneurs and business professionals that love what they do. And if y'all have any questions for him or anything, let me know before we get off. His IG is Donnie.Durango. His Facebook is Donnie Durango. Look, connect with him. He might be that very thing you've been looking for. So, once again, we'd like to welcome you and thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Appreciate it.
Anybody have any questions before I go? Because I tell you, I'm gonna keep you for a time, but not a long time. We're gonna give you the tea. But listen, if you would like to be part of Rep Your Grind and share your grind with us, contact us at RepYoGrind, that's RepYoGrind at gmail.com. And we will schedule a date on Thursday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll share your grind with the world. Look, it's been a minute, but we're back on it. Okay, wheels are turning. So thank you once again, Donnie, for coming and sharing with
Thank you for
us.
having me.
Again, that's Donnie.Durango at IG and Donnie Durango Facebook. He's on all music platforms. So if you need to hear or just ride and listen until you choose your favorite song, he is the man to see and listen to. Do you have anything to say before we go?
No, you know what? I would just like to give a big thank you um because loyalty is everything to me. Loyalty is
Mm-hmm.
everything to me, and I'd just like to thank my brother E Digger for linking us up. And for me to even have this opportunity, he promised me, he was like, bro, we got to focus on you, getting you out there, getting your grind showed. So, I'd like to thank him. And yeah, man, like, thank God for this opportunity. And that's it. Shout out my wife and my kids. I'll let you boy if you need those hot beats, man.
But holla at him, okay? So hey, this is Rep Your Grind, the one that really kind of grind that started all back in 2012. So as we always say, we just don't do it great, we represent. Until next time, keep grinding.